Okay, we're going to start West Point Bridge Designer, and I'm going to give you little tips on how to use the program, how to optimize a bridge for the best design and the lowest cost. We're going to start with creating a thing. You can read these tips if you like. We're going to go here. The most important thing is don't buzz through this setup wizard too quickly. They'll give you some good information through here, and here I want to keep the cost of the project as low as possible. I'm going to give my students a ceiling of $300,000 to build their bridge, and I'm going to ask that you know we try to do everything with some standards. You can here, this is kind of a sweet screen here because you can do a lot of neat things. You can change your deck elevation. I want to point out right down here the site costs. Right now I'm sitting at $67,350 just to get the project started with the deck cost, the elevation, abutment, piers, anchorage, all of that, and that gives you this cost here. If I want to do arch abutments, all of a sudden it changes my cost. So now I'm starting at $84,000. It's kind of your startup cost just to get started. You're not going to be able to get less than that. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to change my thing to 8 meters, and I'm changing to 86,000. So here's my initial bridge that I'm starting. So I'm going to hit next, and you can do medium or high strength concrete. It changes your cost. I usually stick on this screen. I stick with the defaults, and this is kind of cool. You can do a template, and I recommend you won't really do a satisfactory or successful bridge design right away if you without doing a template. So I'm going to select a template. I'll select the first one. I like the Pratt. I like the look of the trusses. So I'm going to do the Pratt continuous arch. I hit next. This, you want to put your name, and next. Don't skip here. This kind of tells you the steps. You're going to draw the joints, draw the members, run the load test to check your thing, then strengthen the members that fail during the load test. I'll show you how to do that, and then optimize the design by minimizing its cost. And that's the thing. That's where I really want you to drill into and put some effort there. Hit finished. Here you just finish filling in all of the pieces, putting all the joints in. Next I'm going to come here and pick the tool here, and I'm just going to draw all of these pieces in. Just with the standard size. They're all the size. I'm sticking up here with carbon steel, solid bar, 140 by 140, and I can actually drag that all the way across, and it puts them all in there. So here I have my basic structure. I'm sitting at 297,000, and wouldn't it be sweet if I click the test report and it passes? And of course, there it does. It does. So right off the bat, without doing anything really, I've got my bridge built, and I'm under $300,000, and I really haven't done anything to it yet. And this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking at the screen status. Now, to optimize, you're going to come back here, you're going to look at these load test results, and you're going to find out where you are on your compression strength and your tension strength. And you have to keep these numbers under 1. Got to be 1.0 or less. If it's over 1.00, then it fails the test, and you've got to change the size of the truss member. And so what you do is you look for these that are 0 and very low in one column or low in both columns. And you can kind of make this easier by sorting. And here I've got all of these zeros on the tension, and all of these are very low on the compression side. So I'm going to kind of use 0.5 as my is my thing there. And I'm going to switch all of these guys to hollow tube. And I drop down to 246. I'm going to run my test, and I see right away that I failed. So I'll go back here, and I'm going to see which ones failed. And just about all of them failed. So I'm going to grab all these that failed, and I'm going to increase all of them in size, maybe by 2 iterations. And these that failed like by a lot, 1.5 or more, I'm going to increase those maybe even 2 more times. I'll run the test again. I've still failed, and I'm just down to 2 members that have failed, just barely. So I'm going to highlight just those 2, and I'm holding down the shift button as I click that range. I'm going to make them just a little bit bigger and test, and I've passed the test. I'm green. And I want to show you something here. I get tired of seeing that. If you get tired of seeing that, you can click this show animation, and now when you run your test, it just gives you the status and tells you what's not working. So I've got a test. I'm down to 258,000. I'm going to continue to tweak on the ones that are low. So I'm going to sort again. These are all zeros, and these are all very low. Those are almost, all these are very low. I'm going to highlight all of these, and I'm going to make them all. I'm looking at this. I'm actually going to try and grab this one by control clicking that, and I'm going to make these all a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to run my test, and I pass. So now I've got all the way under 245,000, and I'm going to continue to look for these things that are less. A test, and I failed on this one right here. So, and I can tell here it's a tube. I'm going to grab both of these that are opposite one another. Just going to bump them up one size. I'm going to test, and I pass. And I'm going to keep doing this back and forth, changing member sizes and testing, and to see how far down I can get this number. If you work at it, you can get it much less than this. I've had somebody already get down to less than 230,000, actually less than 225,000, and if you work at it, you can do even better than that. So that's all my tips. I hope you actually put some effort in this and learn a little bit.